Hi everyone, and welcome to lesson number 4 of Slovenian word journeys, where we explore Slovenian vocabulary in a hopefully interesting and informative way. And today we have a very interesting word that has a lot of different meanings, and that word is the adjective hud. Now, as the title suggests, it has so many different meanings. It can mean good, bad, and also sexy or attractive. So let's try explaining how this came to be. So the adjective is hud, huda, hudo. And I would say it kind of has 4 basic meanings. The first is bad, and then we also have angry, but angry more in the sense of strict. And then we have good, but good in the sense of cool, and also attractive or sexy. So let's start with bad. Hud is used to describe things that are already inherently bad. So bad things like, for example, illnesses, natural disasters, pain of any sorts or any kind, if those are very much bad or painful, they can be hud. So anything from earthquakes to floods to fires, they can be hud, or any kind of symptoms, illnesses, pain anywhere in the body can be hud. So as you can imagine, the translations can be very different. It can be bad, severe, serious, intense, major. All of those are valid translations of the Slovenian word hud, hud, huda, hudo, and so on. So hud kašelj, a bad cough. Huda bolečina, severe pain. Hud glavobol, a bad headache. Hud mraz, bitter cold. Huda vročina, extreme heat. Huda prometna nesreča, a bad traffic accident. Those are just a few of examples with hud. If you would like more examples, and let's plug our subscription webpage here, you can go to Teachable. And for a monthly subscription, you can get many more videos that are accessible on YouTube, and also materials such as PDF files and so on and so forth. And I will put up a PDF file with many, many more examples on everything we will talk about hud today. Anyway, let's continue with angry. So hud is not the usual word for angry. We would never use it for angry. It is angry specifically when kind of describing authority figures from a child's perspective. So mostly parents. I mean, it's mostly mom and dad. So sometimes maybe teachers as well. So basically it's from a child's perspective, and the best example I can think of, or the most natural example to me, is the mother saying to the child, referring to herself as the third person, saying, "Mom will be angry if you do that." And mom is saying that, of course. But then we also have, some of you that live in Slovenia might have seen signs on houses that say "Pozor hud pes." That's the usual way in Slovenia of saying beware of dog, or whatever the sign says in English. And literally it says, "Attention angry dog," or "Attention mean dog," "Attention vicious dog." Any one of those, I guess. So that is angry, not used often at all in that meaning. And then we have good, but it's not really good. It's kind of like cool, or cool looking, if something is like visually, if that's important. So hud can mean good, but good in the sense of cool. And Slovenian does a weird thing there where English, I mean, does the same in slang, but where we use a word that denotes something bad, but then we use it to actually describe good things in the sense of badass, or something along those lines, or something like a bad boy being attractive, I guess. Yeah, even though, anyway. So, yeah, I mean, Gen Z has its own vocabulary and new terminology that I would be too embarrassed to even say. So, I mean, it's awesome, cool, sick, or anything that young people today would say instead of the word basically cool. It's kind of like mean or badass or cool looking. That's the meaning of hud. So we can say hud film, kind of. None of these, like all of these are going to say good here. None of them are like actually just good. It's kind of like slang-ish for for good basically, but it's kind of like badass. Or so it's a hud film, huda knjiga, hud komad. Komad is by itself kind of slang for a song. Huda pesem. Pesem is irregular feminine. I forgot to color it purple. A good song. Hud auto. Auto is actually masculine, an exception. I forgot to color it blue. Hud auto, kind of like a cool looking car, right? Huda hisha, a cool looking house rather than a good house. But yeah, that's the third meaning of hud. And then we also have attractive. So it can also mean attractive or sexy or hot. And if like you were to ask me, just purely my intuition as a native speaker, how this came to be, and I'm almost certainly wrong, but if you were to ask me just intuitively, I would say that it's kind of like, you know, those faces models do when they kind of like technically they're kind of like mean looking faces or socially dominant looking faces, or there's something dominant or meaner, like they squint their eyes, and I think it's something along those lines. I don't know why hud means attractive or sexy as well, but it's kind of like if I had to guess, I would say it's something along those lines, like the faces models make, but it's almost definitely not that. But that's just what comes to my mind. So you can say hud moški. So in that case, it will be a sexy man. Hud tip. Tip is kind of like a guy, an attractive guy. Huda ženska, an attractive woman. Hud sodelavec, an attractive male colleague. And huda sodelavka, an attractive female colleague. Now, an important or useful question is, how often are these words actually used? How useful is this word? I would say it's quite useful. I would say people use it in the sense of, at least my generation. I was born in 1990, so at least my generation, I would say people use hud more often than sexy. We also have the adjective sexy, or privlačen, attractive. I would argue people use hud as the most commonly to refer to attractive. I would also say it's very commonly used among my generation still, and younger people probably also, to describe a cool movie or yeah, movie is a good example for hud film. The least and the original meaning of severe, something bad, is also very whenever we describe like natural disasters or even financial crises, like huda finančna kriza, right? That's also pretty common. I'd say the least common one is like angry, or it's mostly just like mom will be angry or the teacher was angry, again from the child's perspective. Anyway, we have bad, angry, and then Slovenian does a magic trick of changing bad into good, like English does with sick or ill or other slang words. And then we also have attractive or sexy. I hope this helps remember hud. I'll put more examples. There are some more interesting connections on Teachable. If anyone is interested, you can get the PDF there for a subscription fee, obviously. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope these are somewhat enjoyable or informative, interesting, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.